Well, we'll call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, all members are present. Approval of the agenda. We have one change, 7D will be removed from the agenda. Is there any other changes?
No.
Council? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda with that change?
Make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Motion by Shallen, seconded by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5 in favor, none against. Approval of the minutes, October 6th, regular meeting. You have them in your packet. Is there any changes, corrections needed to those minutes? Hearing nothing, do I have a motion to approve the October 6th meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Diane,
I'll second.
second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'm going to abstain.
Okay. 4 in favor, none against, 1 abstention. This brings us to our public open forum. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? The public open forum is now closed. We have no public hearings. We'll go on to reports and presentations. Police Department monthly report. Brian?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Activity report for September 2021. Some of the numbers we had 7 gas no pays. We did 51 door checks. We had 101 foot patrols. We did 48 school patrol. We had 7 accidents, 11 medicals. We had 18 personal assist. We had 9 behavioral health calls. We had 8 alarm calls. 13 welfare checks we did. We had 11 suspicious activity calls. 3 juvenile problems. And we had 7 driving complaints. We had 4 verbal disputes. We did 35 assists for other agencies. We had 6 assists for businesses, 27 citizen contacts, 23 matter of information calls, 7 driving without a Minnesota license citations. We had 10 driving on revoked or suspended license citations. We gave out verbal warnings in a total of 205 of those. We had total calls of 579 for a total of 784 for the month. So compare that to 2020, we're up 38 on ICRs and about the same for warnings. So pretty comparable. Otherwise, that's all I have for September.
Okay. Council have any questions?
Should start quieting down now.
Sure is a lot of people that are driving, there sure is a lot of people driving that shouldn't be on the road.
Yep.
Thank you.
Still seem to be getting them. Yeah.
It's not the same ones every month, is it?
No,
Oh, good.
no.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Public Works Department, Ben?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Over the past month at the campground, we installed sewer hookups to 5 of the campsites by the west bathroom. Everything there is backfilled and seeded. Grass is actually starting to grow. The footings are poured for the new restroom shelter project. They are working on the block work right now and going to continue on that over the next couple of weeks. Winterized all the bathrooms and water lines in the parks. Sprinkler systems as well. The final mowing and mulching of the grass and leaves took place. Browns Park, new restroom facilities under construction. We installed the water line going into the building. Streets, we did haul a few loads of asphalt fines for patching around manholes and some other potholes that were open. Alleyways, hauled class 5 and leveled it that needed maintenance, and then bladed the gravel roads. Street sweeping's taking place each day. DOT inspections were completed on all plow trucks. Plow equipment was taken out of storage, serviced, and is installed for use. We did have some vandalism at the splash pad shelter. 2 pieces of soffit were damaged and some other minor things. This is going to be repaired in the next few weeks. The arena, a lot of prep work, installing the boards, glass, flooring, and cleaning prior to the ice, which we started making this past Monday. Everything will be ready for practice next week. This week's gone pretty well up there. The new front doors, they did have a little hang up at the paint department, but they're scheduled to be installed next Thursday. And the airport asphalt project, contractor completed the mill and overlay around the OT hangar last Friday. A couple of sheets of steel siding were damaged during the removal of the existing tar by the contractor, and they're taking care of getting that fixed. So that'll be a few weeks, but it'll all get taken care of. Any questions I can answer?
The vandalism of the splash pad, was that last Sunday? Or
No.
when did you guys notice it?
I think it's been a week and a half at least.
Okay,
2 weeks.
because Sunday afternoon, there was a large amount of people in there, and
Okay. That was the group that left a lot of garbage. That Monday morning, there was a lot of garbage all over the park out there, so we got that picked up, but
they were jumping from table to table and everything else like that. That's when I went through there and stopped that, so,
gotcha.
okay.
Okay.
Just trying to get a timeline.
Yeah.
Planning Commission?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In your packet, you have a copy of the Planning Commission agenda. We had our meeting on October 12th. We did hold a public hearing for rezoning, which is an action item a little later on the agenda. You have a copy of the building permit report, if there's any questions about the building permits.
A lot of reshingles.
Yes.
So, anyone have any questions for Sarah? Good, thank you.
And we did review the fee schedule for 2022, and it was determined that no changes needed to be made for next year.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
City Engineer Report. Keith?
Okay, good evening, Mayor and Council. Update on Aerosmith Plat 3 project. Let's see, we're still working very diligently to help get the contractor to finish their work up there. They have been informed that they are on liquidated damages. It's actually since some middle of, I can't remember the exact date, but middle of September. Lastly, I've asked for a schedule to complete the work by end of the day today, and told them that, in that we would look for alternatives to perform the work if needed. As of this moment, I haven't received any new schedule on that yet, so we'll keep working through that. They are kind of working little by little on things, but things aren't quite complete yet. The grading portion is basically done with, maybe a couple more hours worth of work, and that should be complete. I can't tell you how many times we've restaked for them to make sure they get it to grade. But they do have that entrance area that's going to be paved, has to get shaped up again and paved. I understand that the Caribou site, they are scheduled to pave their portion tomorrow. I'm not sure, depending on the weather, if that's going to work out or not, but it should be soon. If it's not tomorrow, maybe the next day. So we'll keep working on it, but that's not a real great update on those, but that's where that one's at. So.
Is there any erosion control or seeding? Is that part of what they've got to do yet?
They still have to seed. Actually, seeding is tentatively scheduled to be done early next week, but they still have a little bit of work to get done before that can get finished. So we'll see. I mean, it's supposed to be dry, after 2 days, so maybe they'll get things done the next 2 days, but we'll see.
Because with some of the rains I've seen, that it looks like a lot more dirt is going right back into that holding
Yep,
pond
and
and
then they gotta-
defeating the purpose again.
Yeah, they got to pull it all back out and reshape everything up, and they just are making more work for themselves every single day. But
Okay,
there's not a lot we can do other than we can't get out there and do the work ourselves. So that's why we hire them to go under contract. But we'll keep pushing at it.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
On the project to the South Industrial Park, as you know, that was bid last week. So that'll be one of the action items that will come up for you. But on that one, we're just actively working through a couple of the last permits that need to get obtained for that. So that's kind of where that project is at, other than the award that's pending here shortly. So any questions council may have for me?
Do we have any rights over retainage if it's not on schedule?
Yeah, well, not so much retainage. We can hold the retainage is actually to make sure that we have some money to be able to get things done, which is why I put that in my message to them last, that we may look for other options to complete the project if need be. But otherwise, there is in the contract, we do have the liquidated damages, and we are by contracts able, if they can't perform, to have that work completed and take it out of their contract, that kind of thing. So we have options.
Are you fearful at this point that that's what it's looking like?
I'm concerned, I'm not sure I'd say I'm fearful, but I'm concerned. Things need to happen real soon because we don't want to impact opening, and things need to happen quickly. So we'll talk to them tomorrow and see where they're at. And if we think we need to make alternative actions, I will be talking to Vicki and trying to figure out what we need to do.
One of the things that I think that ultimately happens is if that we do have to go to other actions, the next time they come in as a low bid on any other projects, it's gonna be a red flag whether or not we give them the job. So,
Yep.
and I think that every contractor understands that. It's just how far they can push the envelope.
They do, and I'd like to tell you this is real uncommon for sort of that last stuff to get done. Usually it's more of the seeding and just some things. We do have seeding here, but there is still some big items of that paving that has to get done. It seems like it's getting harder, those last items, to get them done anymore. They just seem to not care, and that you just ride them constantly. And you know, some contractors are definitely better than others, but just in general, there's a problem with that sort of industry-wide of getting that last 2% of the project complete.
Okay. All right. Second Street project?
Oh, Second Street project, that's moving forward. Plans are just actively moving forward on that job, so we now are actually truly working diligently along that one. That one really didn't start until just a couple of weeks ago, and we were really working on the plans and specs for it. So still scheduled to be completed probably in early to mid-January, looking at probably a February bid sometime in February. So that's the schedule that we have for that project.
Okay. Any further questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ambulance quarterly report?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Third quarter ambulance report. We had a total of 256 calls of service during this quarter, which brings our total up to 687 for the year. Of those, we had 96 canceled or no load calls, which brings the total up to 152 for the year. We did give you a list of the reasons of the canceled or no load, and then also a list of the receiving facilities. You can see that we're continuing to go throughout the whole state. Couple things that we did extra is we did some special details because the fair was this year, including demo. We participated in the Sinclair Lewis Day Parade, the West Union Parade, Greenwald Parade, Night to Unite, and then we did a couple football standbys for the high school. On the mutual aid part, we assisted North Ambulance out of Alexandria 4 times. Long Prairie requested our assistance once, and also Melrose Ambulance. The special transports for this quarter, we had a contracted hospital transport in July, and then 2 transports to private residents in August.
including assisted living facility, and those also were contracted by the hospital. We did participate at the fair. We did fair standby, or we housed our booth every day of the fair. We did have a couple medical transports from the fair, and also 3 canceled or no load at the fair. And then we also did the demo derby 3 nights, where we had 1 patient that we saw but did not transport. That was our third quarter. Any questions?
Okay. Questions? Comments? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Action items, 7A, approve resolution 2021-101, accepting bid for South Industrial Park project.
So as you know, in accordance with your prior action, we advertised for bids for the construction of the streets and utilities for the South Sauk Center Industrial Park. The bids were opened on October 14th at 11 a.m. We did have 8 bidders that bid for the project, with the low bid being Northern Line Contracting for $3,675,760.50. So these bids are combined for the Industrial Park South and the South 71 storm improvements. We kind of had to separate those out due to the grant funding. After verifications of submittals in the bid bond, the apparent low bidder is Northern Lines Contracting. They found that everything worked out in their bid. We did have one thing I had talked about. I'm working through getting all the recordings done for the grant, and we thought that we could proposedly award this tonight contingent on those recordings happening. And then when I talked to the state, they said they would prefer that we actually take action after that's recorded. So I'll be requesting that tonight we actually table this, and then I'm taking everything down for recording tomorrow. We could potentially be calling a special meeting for early next week to take action on this. And the second part of it is just to kind of work through some final numbers on that, the storm for the truck stop, and what part of that is part of this project and what part of that is separate. So we'll be working those numbers out. But I still wanted to put it on the agenda tonight so you guys could to look at that if you had any questions about the bid, on how that's going to proceed from there. Otherwise, then I would ask you to table it, and we would take it up either at the next meeting or at a special meeting before that time.
Questions? We do have 60 days before we have to award the bid, so talking with Vicki, there's a lot of different moving parts, and with that grant involved, we need to make sure we've got everything covered,
Right.
so
Without a doubt.
that's the reason why the suggestion for tabling.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, we have the funding sources here. We have the grant, we've got the money we were transferred from our hospital fund, we've got some TIF dollars, we've got a potential land sale, we've got money from the PUC. So we've got all these different funding sources and what they're eligible to cover. And so we just want to make sure that the state is okay with all of those funding sources as we move forward, so we don't have any hiccups. So that's what we're looking at.
do you want a motion or just general consent to table it?
Just a general consent to table it and take
Is
it
that
up at
fine
the
with
next
everybody?
meeting.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. 7B, approve resolution 2021-102, accepting bids for 1994 plow truck.
So with the purchase and delivery of our 2022 plow truck for the Public Works Department, the 94 truck was advertised for sale through the online bidding process with the state of Minnesota. And we do have the low bidder, Christopher Stebbing, for $7,475. And so we are recommending that the council accept that bid.
Questions or comments? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2021-102?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Shallen. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7C, approve ordinance 804, amending zoning map.
So at their regular October 12th meeting of the Planning Commission, they held a public hearing to consider the application of Pendota Landing, Inc., which is Chuck Anderson and Greg and Jane Kelly Johnson, to rezone property legally described. It's actually Lot 28, which has been split into 2, but the overall lot is Lot 28, Block 1, Lake Ridge. It's at 849 Lake Ridge Drive, which is across from the Jehovah's Witness Church. It's currently zoned commercial. It's requested to rezone the property to R1 single family to allow for the construction of a single family home on the property. So then all of the lakeshore property then will all be residential. And so the Planning Commission did recommend that that amendment be approved. It is before you as ordinance 804, amending the zoning map.
Questions, comments?
I'm assuming there were no comments at the public hearing that were,
No.
okay.
No, there wasn't anybody. And no, nothing written. So, do I have a motion to approve ordinance 804?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Diane, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7E, approve resolution 2021-104 authorizing execution of closing documents.
So the city, through a committee for the redevelopment and construction of baseball fields at Towerview Park, we've reached an agreement to obtain a corner of property abutting the arena. This is the property directly north of the arena. The additional property will utilize to enlarge the baseball field to regulation size. You do have a copy of the certificate of survey. The portion that we are acquiring is Tract A. This, on the certificate of survey, this will be split off and added to the arena property along with the property obtained from TriCap, which is directly to the west of this, which is shown as the dotted lines on that certificate of survey. And so what we're looking to do is approve resolution 2021-104, authorizing the mayor and the city administrator to execute the closing documents. And we do have some water runoff grading that we'll be accomplishing as part of this agreement.
Questions? Concerns?
Part of this agreement was kind of in good faith, right? Like there,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So this would be a donation to the city in exchange for correcting some of that grading where the water runs off our property onto theirs.
All of that is built into the closing documents to protect us from any future, like, recoup of this property that they, like, this is ours after
This
this
is
is
ours,
set
we
in.
will receive it by warranty deed.
All right.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2021-104?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Shallen, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7F, ambulance appointment.
So Kathy Struford, ambulance director, has requested that the city appoint Josie Karsh as an emergency medical responder with the city. So that is the request to report her as an EMR for the ambulance department.
Do I have a motion to appoint Josie Karsh?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Diane,
I'll second.
second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7G, advancement of EMT.
Kathy Struford also has submitted a request for the advancement of Nick Weisensel from probationary EMT to EMTB Level 1 for the service. While on probation with the service, he's had favorable reviews as he's well exceeded the 20 patient contracts that are required when on probation. He takes active call and is available for backup on a regular basis. So she's requesting to approve the advancement of Nick Weisensel to EMT Level 1 effective today.
Any questions or comments?
Did Nick come to us as a paramedic, previous paramedic? I don't,
He is a paramedic, yes.
he is, all right.
Do I have a motion to approve the advancement?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Shallen. Call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. We have no unfinished business or new business. Brings us to our consent agenda. We have schedule of claims, unpaid claims of $248,527.15, paid claims of $5,000, for a total of $253,527.15. September checks with paid claims / payroll of $872,213.83. Gambling application for an exempt permit request from Holy Family School for a raffle on December 15th, 2021 at the Holy Family School. And a gambling application for an exempt permit request from the Sauk Center Lions Club for a raffle on February 23rd, 2022 at the American Legion. Do I have any questions about the consent agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi, second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. We have no informational items. That brings us to the end of our agenda. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Shallen.
And I will second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Meeting adjourned.